Hello, hello. Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Live Coaching. As you can tell, I'm not in my office today. I am coming to you from Orlando at the conference where I have been at for the past few days here, learning a lot about some things I'll be bringing to you shortly, some neuroscience, the science, we talk about the gut-brain axis. There's a lot of other axes that can come together and have an effect on your health, positive and negative. So stay tuned. I'll be coming to you with those as soon as I, finish the conference, get all the rest of the details. But today we are continuing along our series talking about inflammation. So, and for those of you who are joining in, let me know where you're watching from. If this is your first time, welcome. My name is Tanya Gustafson. I'm a nutritionist and fitness coach from Kelowna, BC, Canada. Fit Nutrition is my business. Launched that in 2012 to help women take back control of their health, their hormones, lose weight without dieting, heal their gut, and just live with food freedom, live their lives and love it, and not have to worry about all the menopause stuff and the food and the dieting and all of the things that come with midlife, right? We're not doing any of that. We're going to do it and thrive, not survive. So just make sure my headphone's not going to come out now. All right. So here we go. I don't have my usual tech with me today because obviously I am in the hotel business office and not my own office. So thanks for joining me today. Thanks for your patience if the tech is not like it normally is. And but yeah, we're going to get through it, and hopefully you're going to get some tidbits that are going to be useful for you in your health and wellness journey, right? Because it's a journey. Health is a journey. It's not a start and a stop. That's a diet. It's a launch, a start, and then a launch to the rest of your healthy life. So today we're going to dive in. We're continuing on our series of inflammation because inflammation is the root cause of all disease, right? And so we talked about just the inflammation last time, and inflammation can come from all of our six plates. So let's just recap what our six plates are. I talked about inflammation in general last time. So if you missed that, if you are a Fit Lifer, you can go and watch that in your portal. If you are a longstanding member in the group, you can go watch it. I posted it in the group a couple of weeks ago. And then if you, otherwise, you're just gonna have to follow along. You're gonna pick it up. You can read the blog. There's a blog on the website as well too. All right, so here are our six plates. And the thing is that weight and most, everything else is a symptom of health and hormones, but especially weight. It'll hold on to your body when you're not focusing on the things that you need to do to release that. And it's all rooted in health and inflammation. So when we're looking at all these plates, we start off with food. So this is where we're starting with today. But all of these six plates, and we use plates because, food is our foundation. That's where we're starting. But all of these six plates really affect everything else. They all kind of work synergistically together. If one plate falls, it's going to take several on its way down if you don't catch it before it goes, right? And so you want to keep them up and spinning, we say. And that means that area of your health is just humming along really nicely. You're in balance, you're feeling good, all the things, okay? So we're going to start with our nutrition plate today. And how does nutrition work? How does food work? How does food affect inflammation in your body? Well, what you put in matters. And I've been saying that food is your foundation. I've been saying that for well over a decade now. And it's the first wellness plate. I like to start with that because I've always been saying food is your foundation, right? And it's like building a house. If you don't have that firm foundation that you're going to build on, you can put up walls, you can decorate, paint pretty colors and whatever. But if a big enough storm comes, it's going to tear that house apart and you're left with a crumbling foundation. You're going to have to fix it, rebuild it, and then patch the foundation up or redo it all entirely before you can start again and have a house. And your body is the same way. If you don't invest in having a good solid foundation of which to build the rest of your health on and get those other health plates up and spinning, then when life happens, and even just in regular everyday life, the longer you do something that doesn't serve your body, things are going to start chipping away at the structure of your house and your house, right? Your body and your foundation. So, excuse me. So most of us have been trained to undereat, over restrict, and ignore the body's cues. right? That's what dieting has been telling us for, I mean, ever since I can remember, and decades prior to that. And that was something that I was actually taught in the fitness industry. Is like, well, you need to lose weight, you want to trim down, you want to firm up, whatever it is. You just need to eat less and work out more. And but as you deprive yourself of the nutrients that your body needs, it's trying not to shut down. Your body's designed to keep you alive, and it's then becomes desperate in its attempt to get nutrients or store things in order for to use them later. And because it's thinking that there's a crisis, and there actually is a crisis. If you're not properly fueling your body, you're depriving it of nutrients, the nutrients that you need for your brain, your heart, all your organs, your blood flow, all the rest of your systems. So if we're, food is either fueling you or poisoning you. And I'm sorry if that's a little bit graphic and a little bit blunt, but really it is. If you're eating things that are nutrient dense, that have the vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, your clean proteins, fats, and carbs, and your clean water, putting all those things in on a regular basis more often than, you're eating maybe like the junk foods or the takeouts or the fast food or the processed stuff. If you're eating the whole clean foods more often, you are fueling your body and you're nourishing your body. And then when you do the other things, it's not as detrimental. It's still not great, right? It's like putting the wrong gas in your car. Your car will still run. But say you had you put the tank of gas in with the correct gas, and then by accident you grabbed a diesel for your gas car and you put a little dribble in it. Oh, stop. Probably a little dribble is not going to affect your car at that point because you've got a large tank full of the proper gas, right? But if it was the other way around, if you had a little bit of the gas that your car normally runs on in the tank and you were mindlessly at the pump chatting with someone, grabbed the wrong one, stuck it in there, chit-chatting away, and then all of a sudden realized, oh no, I filled my car up with diesel and it really needs gasoline. So you have this much gasoline in and now you have this much diesel. Your car is going to still run. It's still going to turn over, but it's going to be running rough for a long time unless you drain that out, flush everything out, and put the proper gas in. But if you kept running it like that, it's going to run, but it's going to run really, really rough, and it's going to be sputtering, and it's going to be a rough ride. So thinking about that, right? So get that visual picture in your head because food fuels our body, but it also fuels our soul, and we need both, right? It can still run on both, and we need both in order to feel fulfilled and to take part in the celebrations where there's celebratory foods, right? Where you go out for dinner or you have Christmas or you have an anniversary or you go out, like I'm here at a conference, right? We're having a gala tonight. I'm not preparing that food. I don't know how it's prepared. Is it going to be good quality food? I believe so because we're at a resort. But is it going to be as clean and free of any sauces or additives or whatever that I would do at my house? Nope, absolutely not that I know. But because I feel my body clean most of the time, this is going to be like a little blip in the radar and it's going to be okay. It's kind of like little drops of diesel in my gas tank as opposed to the other way around. So you want to think about that because when you're the other way around, that sputtering and that coughing and that chugging along, um, that struggle of your car trying to get going properly and moving down the highway, that struggle that your body is that you put your body into, that creates inflammation. Okay. And nothing thrives in a deficit, right? You spend years trying to be good, thinking that you're doing the right thing, like I did, counting calories, cutting carbs, pulling things out like that. And you think you're doing the right thing. You think you're doing good, or you're only eating good foods and not bad foods. Well, food isn't good or bad. We've talked about this before. Food, like I said, it either fuels your body or it fuels your soul, and you need both. But you need it in the right ratios, right? We need the food that fuels your body 8 to 9 times out of 10 compared to the food that fuels your soul. And people think, well, that's restrictive. But is it? Because if you're thinking, well, how come I can't have it? How come I can't be the other way around? Well, it certainly can. It depends on how you want your body to run. If you want your vehicle to chug along and be struggling because you're not feeling it adequately enough, then you could do that. But then how long is the life of your engine going to last? it's going to be really hard on your engine, right? Your body, all the things that make it run. It's going to be hard on your engine. You think, well, I like all those things and I deserve all those things. Doesn't your body deserve to be healthy? Don't you deserve to feel good, to have energy, to have better sleep, to have all of your six plates up and spinning? Don't you think don't you deserve to be healthy and not get sick very often? Don't you deserve to get rid of the joint pain? That's inflammatory too, right? All of these things can be and are affected directly by the food that you put in. Okay. So nothing thrives in a deficit. When you're taking nutrients out, you're not getting enough. And when you're putting too many of the fuel your soul foods in, you're giving it enough volume of food, but you're not giving it enough nutrient dense foods. Okay, so you're not fueling your cell. And when we eat those sort of they used to call them empty calories, right? Sometimes they'll call them empty calories. I just don't like to really perseverate on calories because then everyone says, well, how many calories should I eat? All right, let's just go there just for a second. I used to count calories and fat grams. And I would stop at about 1,200 calories a day, and that's when I would stop eating, right? Because that was the number, that was the magic number. Because I'm a small person, that's what I figured. No doctor ever told me, no nutritionist or dietitian or anybody ever told me. There was no magical chart that I used to figure it out. It was just kind of what the diet industry was saying for my size of a person. And so I did that, whether I was working out really hard, teaching fitness classes, sitting watching movies with my kids and not doing anything for the afternoon, or whether I was hauling rock and doing landscaping when we built our house. It's not consistent because thinking about your car, this is your vehicle that drives you through life, right? But your car in the driveway, you need more fuel in the tank to drive, to the next province or the next city than you do to drive down to the mall. So if I'm expending more energy, I need more fuel, but I wasn't doing that, right? So I was depriving my body. I was under eating. I was over restricting. And then I was ignoring those body cues because I'd just be like, if I ate like that, I would weigh 300 pounds. I remember thinking that to myself and even saying that out loud. If I ate that much, and now I eat that much and I do not weigh 300 pounds, but I did change my body composition. So many of you know that story. As soon as I figured out blood sugar stabilization, which is food, right? Eating our proteins, fats, and carbs in the right portions, in the right frequencies throughout the day. When I started doing that, and not working out on an empty stomach and filling my gaps in nutrition before I went to the gym and then refueling when I came back from the gym without doing anything else, I reconfigured my body's composition and lost 2% body fat as a 40-year-old. So, women always say, well, I couldn't do anything after 35. Oh my gosh, the weight just wants to keep packing on, or after 40, or after whatever the age is. But it doesn't really matter your age. It matters the length of time you've been doing things that don't serve your body. So food is your foundation and inflammation is the wrecking ball. It's kind of, you think about construction or demolishing an old house or something. That's the wrecking ball that comes in. But this is think about it as a nice new house. You don't want that wrecking ball to come in. And when your body is inflamed, your nutritional needs actually go up. So inflammation can be caused by stress, and it can be caused by environmental toxins and a lot of the seed oils and things in our food. So sugar is a toxin. It's also inflammatory. Seed oils, unhealthy fats like trans fats, things that have been hydrogenated, all of those kinds of things that are processed with lots of chemicals and preservatives, things that are, they're spraying on our fresh fruits and vegetables to preserve them, or to, herbicides and pesticides as they're growing. All of those things cause us inflammation. Now we can't stop eating, right? But we do need to start looking at what we're putting in and eliminating some of those things, because otherwise it's kind of like trying to rebuild that. Like the inflammation comes, it's knocking your house down, and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm just feeling so done. Maybe I get sick a lot, or maybe I'm in pain a lot. That was me. But so the wrecking ball comes along and it's knocking your house down. You're feeling like crap, like that. But if you don't change what you're putting in, it's kind of like now it knocked over the gas line. The house kind of lights on fire. It's burning, smoldering to the ground. It's kind of like trying to rebuild a house that's on fire. You have to remove all that junk first clean everything out, which is why I always get my clients to start out with a Fit and Four to remove those inflammatory foods, the gluten, the soy, the dairy, alcohol, coffee, sugar, and there's a few other food items, but those are the biggies to pull those out and not to say that, oh, you can never eat those again. You can never have a slice of bread, or you can never have a candy, or you can never have a cookie. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, back to the car analogy, all of those things together, they clog up our body's filters. So it's like the filter in your car. You take your car for an oil change. The mechanic takes out the dirty filter, he puts in a clean one. He never says, I'm going to leave the dirty filter in and just save you a few dollars and you can put the clean oil back in. We would think he's crazy. Why would I do that? Same with your body. So we need to remove the things that are causing the backup, causing the filter to get clogged, because our bodies are amazing at flushing things out. So when we start putting in clean foods that are free from the seed oils, free from the process, all the processes and the chemicals that go with, and the MSGs and the high fructose corn syrups and the fake sugars and all the stuff, right? When we remove those and just put in clean whole foods as much as possible and flush with lots of clean water, our body is an amazing filtering system. And those clean foods allow your body to rest, digest, and flush out the toxins. And it pulls the drain plug on your toxic load bucket, the bucket that's caused inflammation. That's like your oil filter, right? Or the filter that's clogged. So as that filter was clogged up and you pull those things, you get those things out for that moment in time for your Fit and Four, it's 4 weeks of doing that. And you've pulled the plug on that bucket and all those toxins drain out, your body can flush out, your inflammation goes way down. And when the inflammation goes down, your health, your energy, your go up, and your pain and all the negative things go down. Brain fog goes away. You just feel so good, and you just start feeling energized. You don't feel like you need that extra sugar hit in the afternoon or a coffee in the midday or coffee first thing to get going. You don't need those because your body is having the right nutrients and you've flushed out the gunk that's preventing the nutrients from getting to your cells. So I hope that sort of is resonating with you. Um, Also, inflammation damages the gut lining, right? We talked about that, and your food is going directly into your gut, right? So digestion starts in the mouth, it's going all the way down, it's going into your stomach, into your large intestine, all the things. If you're not removing those toxins out, pulling the plug on your toxic load bucket every once in a while, then you are holding inflammation there. You're holding things in there that are inflaming the walls, the linings inside. Okay. And that lining is only one cell thick. And so it's sort of like, when you get a scab, you guys probably heard me use this before, but you get a cut and it scabs over because you're first of all, it hurt, right? It was hot and red. Your body tells it to send the stem cells to heal it. That little bit of inflammation when it's red and hot and it's sore, that's the good inflammation because it's calling the stem cells to heal. But now if I picked it off and I keep scratching it because it's itchy and I just can't leave it alone, it's going to get super infected. That's the chronic inflammation. And when we chronically keep putting in the things that cause inflammation into our body, it's like that sore that never heals. After a while, it gets inflamed and red and swollen and pussy, and then pretty soon you need like an antibiotic or something to get rid of it. And that nobody wants that, right? And so that's where we start experiencing all of those issues that it's like if you're, eating things and you're like, it doesn't matter what I eat, my stomach is upset. Or I don't know why my stomach is upset today after I ate that, but it wasn't the last time I ate that. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I'm just feeling kind of, oh my goodness, after I eat, I'm so fatigued. I just can't stay awake. Any of these kinds of things. I'm bloated. I'm just, I haven't gone to the bathroom for a while. All of those things are signs that there's inflammation in your gut. And by removing those inflammatory foods, so once again, gluten, soy, dairy, alcohol, coffee, sugar, you can pull those out and replace with whole foods, and lots of water consistently throughout the day, right? Your proteins, fats, and carbs, your PFC, every 3 to 4 hours throughout the day. right portions and right frequencies, you can put your body back into balance with food. You're pulled out the stuff that's causing the toxic load bucket to overflow. You're draining the bucket. So now you have room, your body can breathe, and you start to feel really good. So, all right. That's the talk about food and inflammation. So what you put in matters, and what you eat, we say you are what you eat, but you are also what your food eats. So know the source, and you're also only what you can metabolize. Okay. So if we're putting in things that are hard to digest, hard to metabolize, kind of like fake foods, the things that are more like that we'd save for a celebratory time, if we're putting in too many of those, it's kind of like you're not leaving the scab alone. You keep picking it because it's itchy, it's itchy, it's itchy, and it's flaring up. It's putting gasoline on that house on fire inside there every time you put something else in. But if you can put the fire out, clean up the mess, call in the cleanup crew, clean it all up. Now you can start from a place of health and rebuild, and now you're in control. So think about that. All right. So I hope that was helpful for you today. Yeah, you need all your proteins, fats, and carbs. Just checking my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. But yeah, and even carbs. But carbs, I'm just going to touch on that because we think about carbs as mostly the processy things, right? Like the breads and pastas and rices and potatoes and cookies and sodas and all that kind of stuff, chips. All of those are carbs for sure. But carbs are also all of your fresh fruits and vegetables and whole grains, and legumes and chickpeas and things like that. Okay, which one do you think has more nutritional value, right? So thinking about that when you put them in, and fat is your friend. If you don't have fat, it's not going to help balance and slow down that digestion so that your blood sugar doesn't spike. Okay, so we need all of those things. We just need more, better quality proteins, fats, and carbs more often than the celebratory ones, and you will start healing your gut. You will put out the fire, put out your house on fire, and you'll be able to rebuild from a place of health because now you've brought down the inflammation, you've emptied your toxic load bucket, and you will feel amazing. Okay, so hopefully that helped you. And next time we're going to talk about how your exercise might actually be causing you to have inflammation as well too, because yes, we got to exercise, yes, we got to move, but there's something you may be doing in your workout. If your workout's not working for you, there's something that you're doing, it's probably causing inflammation, and that's what we're going to talk about next week. So join me back Wednesday live coaching, except this one's recorded, and probably next time will be recorded too, because I will be going to play the grandma role with my son and daughter-in-law and my little grandson. They are expecting a little granddaughter, so watch for that. I'll be letting you guys know what they have. But yeah, so this call is recorded, and next week's call will be recorded as well too. So thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful Wednesday. See you guys next time. Thank you.